Hello everyone! Welcome back to another 2v2 battle with me and Surreal. I am playing as the Vampire Counts, and he is playing as the Dwarves. We are fighting against a Beastman faction and a Bretonnian faction. So for me, I brought two zombies. I brought the Tithe zombies. We have 3 Crypt Ghouls back here. I'm trying out the Mortis engine. Vlad von Carstein right there, as you saw. We also have a Necromancer on top of a Crypt Cart. We have the Sternsmen, which are the renowned Grave Guard, and they have regeneration. And then I'm also bringing the Carstein Stalkers, which have 60 armor. Yeah, they have 60 armor to the unit and poison attacks. I think they're pretty cool. Poison attacks are always welcome. Then over here on the side, we have 2 Blood Knights. We're also using the Varix Reavers, which are the Black Knights that have regeneration. The Chill guys, or Chill Heists, which have that slowing aura. And then the Dire Pack Dire Wolves. We have a lot of calves since we were fighting against Bretonnia. What I was not expecting is that over here, the enemy brought 5 Centaurs in total with great weapons. That's a lot of Centaurs with great weapons. The rest of their forces are Gores. They have 2 Gore Bulls, I believe. We also have a Razor Gore Chariot, Malagor the Dark Omen over here, 3 Ungor Raiders? 3 Ungor Raiders over here, just in a mix of Gore forces. For Surreal, we have a line of Longbeards, some Ironbreakers, a Flame Cannon, 2 Gyrocopters, 2 Slayers, 2 Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, and then 3 Quarrelers with great weapons as well. A generic Dwarf Lord is right somewhere, right there. And then we also have 2 Thanes and a Runesmith. Very solid build for the heroes of the dwarves. Then the Bretonnian player has a bunch of Spearmen, 2 Grail Knights, 2 Pegasus Knights, the King, 2 Paladins on a Pegasus, and 2 Peasant Bows. Flame Cannon. You don't see it often, but Surreal wanted to give it a shot. It could do really well against a tightly packed Beastman group when it hits. It's gonna hit sometimes. So right now I'm trying to move my army. You can hear the Mortis engine in the background, and we're getting our cav forces in position to try and do a flanking action here. These Centaurs are actually just going to charge right into our zombies and trying to get into our Mortis engine as well. Here are the Tithe zombies. So this is totally okay. They're using their charge bonus against a bunch of zombies, which I'm totally fine with. We have some more zombies fighting some Gore Herds over there, and we're going to get a flanking action with some Blood Knights, which have a bonus versus large. Blood Knights are going to do really well against Centaurs. They are not a heavily armored unit, so they are going to take just so much damage from that charge. You can see their health dropping rapidly. We also have the Necromancer card nearby, buffing the soldiers' attacks and defense, as well as the regeneration. Vlad is over here attacking them. The rest of our forces, right here, we got charged. Actually, hold on. So what happened here is I put the Varix Reavers out as bait for the Grail Knights, and my opponent accepted. So then we're going to collapse with these Blood Knights over here. We're going to get charged by some Centaurs with great weapons. I'm pulling our Dire Wolves around, and I'm pulling our second group away from those Centaurs over there. I'm going to pull them around back here and then do a rear charge. And our Chill Geist are also going to be coming in as well, soon-ish. So I had our cheaper cav with regeneration take the charge from the Grail Knights, and then we're just kind of piling in and trying to surround them. Here come the Dire Pack, which is the renowned wolves. So I had the bonus versus large. And then the Chill Geists and the Blood Knights are getting in position. And we're going to do a complete surround. Meanwhile, over here, we're continuing to fight some Gore Herds. They'll come in anytime. Anytime. Here they come. So yeah, we get a complete surround on these 2 Grail Knights, and we just melt them almost instantly. Meanwhile, the rest of our forces are just trying to get into Surreal's lines, because now he's being engaged by Bretonnia. And over here, we are fighting against some more Gore Herds. The Mortis engine is nearby doing its damage and buff. Ghouls can do typically pretty well against lightly armored units like these Gore Herds, so this is a good fight for them. Other units coming in behind. The Sternsmen are coming in behind these Gore Herds, and our zombies are spreading out, just trying to engage where they can. Our Blood Knights are going to be going after these Peasant Bows along with our zombies, and the Knights of the Bretonnians have mostly been destroyed, except for the Pegasus Knights, which I think are still alive. But yeah, we're going to get a charge on these Blood Knights, or on these Peasant Bows. Soonish. I'm pretty sure we do. There we go. And our cav is going to be kind of split up at this point to take out different threats here and there. Not what you want to see as a Bretonnian player. But yeah, both of our Blood Knights are going to be heading over here to eventually deal with the Cygor and the Trebuchet. Our ground forces are now dealing with Bretonnians, including the King and 2 Paladins who came in to try and snipe my Mortis engine. And then we engaged them with Crypt Ghouls and getting Vlad in here as well. But yeah, it's just the King and the 2 Paladins over here to try and, I guess, fight me back. Right here, the King is trying to run away, but I put the Dire Pack on him to try and keep him from flying. We're also going to get the Chill Geist nearby as well. And we're trying to keep him on the ground so we can focus him down and murder him. Yeah, I got you, King. The Grail Knights, though, come back and rally to their King. I believe that was them getting hit by the Chill Geist aura. And when they do this, our units kind of lose the attack order against the King, and he is actually going to be able to force his way out here because I was busy micromanaging other things. As you can see, our 2 Blood Knights are over here dealing with the Trebuchets. We will be charging the Cygor shortly. Apparently, I had a Crypt Ghoul out here chasing some Gores that I forgot about. Over here, we got some zombies into the Bretonnian Spearmen who have been fighting Surreal's forces here. Flame Cannon coming in. Missing, but that's okay. Meanwhile, back over here, Pegasus Knights charging in with the King again as he was freed from this group. He then comes back over here to try and assist the Paladins against these Crypt Ghouls and zombies. Our Necromancer is still nearby along with the Mortis Engine, and they are both relatively unharmed. You can see, I think this is a Invocation of the Heck, yeah, being dropped, keeping our troops up and as fully operational as possible. Almost hits on those flame cannons over there. Back there, our 2 Blood Knights just took out the Cygor. We finished off the Grail Knights over here as well. And now the King is flying off with these remaining Pegasus Knights and Paladins, of which I think we actually killed one or maybe even both. We killed one of them, I know for sure. Here's... Oh, maybe we didn't. Huh. Maybe I was killing Pegasus Knights thinking those were Paladins. Maybe that's what was happening. But that's going to do it for the battle there from my side. It was kind of chaotic. I was doing what I could to try and assist Surreal because he took the brunt of the fight. And then for me, my forces kind of got stopped here by the heroes, which was good on them. They tar pitted half my force there because I aggroed them. I was like, I gotta kill them, and they were still able to escape, which was good for them. And then, like, my forces all over the place. Our knights are all over the place. I'm not sure where my... Oh, there they are. There's my Varix Reavers. They were dealing with the Grail Knights, too. So I think the Dire Pack is pretty cool, as long as, again, you do not let them get charged by enemy cav. I think they could be a great supportive unit. But let's watch this again from Surreal's perspective this time.
Hold fast!
Hold fast! I just want to get a shot of these flame cannons firing. Yeah! Woo! Flame Cannon, I think, is a pretty solid unit to bring against the Beastmen due to their low armor. Most of the units have low armor. Some of them do have high, but for the most part, I think the Flame Cannon can potentially do really well. There goes the Coroller Fire for these Gore Herds that do not have the shields. So they're going to be taking the full brunt of that. And then they are going to run into a line of Iron Breakers. Pegasus Knights trying to deal with these gyrocopters. Point blank flame cannon shot right in the face. Oh man, and that routed them too. They couldn't even get a charge off on this flame cannon. Centaur is charging into these Longbeards over here. We do have a group of Slayers though nearby. Going to do really well against Centaurs. Along with these Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Well, the great weapon Dwarf Warriors aren't as essential to fighting Centaurs, but Slayers are very nice. I'm assuming the Beastman player brought so many great weapon Centaurs because they knew they were fighting against a Dwarf player. But look at this Flame Cannon just not being assaulted at all. continuing to be allowed to fire upon the Bretonnians as they advance now. The back line, looks like the Corridors have taken out these Pegasus Knights along with the Gyrocopters. They are not being managed currently, which is bad for them. We do have a Gorbel into the mix. That is a little scary, but these Corridors do have great weapons, so they will do some decent damage when they hit. There's the other Gorbel fighting against the Slayers, and Dwarf Lord coming in as well. Here come the Bretonnians' lines. Jeez, that damage from the Flame Cannon. So the Beastmen charged in first and kind of got crushed. They didn't really charge at the same time. Kind of a common problem I'm seeing here with the past couple games we played. Then I'm doing my flanking action over there, but really not much is happening over there. Most of the fight really happened on the front line of the Dwarves. I think the biggest impact I did was just having my cav destroy their Grail Knights and then take care of their bows and trebuchet. But for the most part, like, my infantry, it did some things, but not too much. And you see this Gorbel trying to run away from the Slayers, but they are saying nope. Malagor the Dark Omen is getting in close by. These Bretonnian infantry don't really have much of a chance against the Iron Breakers and the Longbeards. Not without some support. Centaur's coming back from routing, going into the Thane and his Longbeards. The Dwarf line is held really well, allowing these Corridors to just drop the fire. Gosh. Pegasus Knight charging into these Slayers. Not really the group you want to charge. You should probably be charging against like the Flame Cannon and then the Corridors, or taking out these Gyrocopters. Any of those options. Don't charge into the Slayers. I don't think at this point they're your biggest concern. These Razgors also charged into this just mass melee, and they are currently being taken out by the Dwarves. You gotta really micromanage Chariots in this game, which is kind of why I don't use them, because they take a lot. There goes the King trying to be sneaky and getting away from my units, but I'm saying nope. The Flame Cannon has just been assaulting all these units out here. There go my Reavers into a very, very brief charge. And now I guess I pulled them out immediately afterwards. And the front line for Bretonnians and the Beastmen have been mostly crushed at this point. Malagor is still in there with the Pegasus Snipe, but they're leaving. Gorbel is still basically fine because of potions, but that's to be expected. My Skeletal Warriors are just looking for a fight at this point because I can't find any units that will fight them. I think we get a brief engagement against these spears. These scouts are going to do really well against this Bretonnian infantry. And yeah, for the most part, it's just the heroes now fighting. Look at this Gorbel way back here. Flame cannons still firing. They did manage to take out one flame cannon. They had a lot of tools that could have taken out the flame cannon, but they just didn't. And maybe they just didn't think it was a threat. I would have considered it a threat. Just putting that out there. And that's it. That's going to be the victory. Good game to my opponents and to Surreal. Let's take a look at the kill count. We did get some kills on our Crypt Ghouls. The Skeletons got some kills there at the very end. The Sternsmen did a rear charge against the initial Gore Herds. That's where they got most of their kills from. But really, like, my infantry didn't get to do too much. My Mortis Engine got one kill. I don't know how much damage its AoE thing does. I have no idea. No idea. Maybe it does a lot. I don't know. I have no idea. I want to know exactly how much it does. Maybe someday we'll find out. Chill Guys got some decent kills. The Blood Knights did really well against isolating and killing the enemy Grail Knights. The Dire Pack got 25 kills. That was mostly against Cav-ish units. Not the highest amount of kills, but I think the Blood Knights took most of those away from them. 69 kills on Varix Reavers are pretty good. Considering they got charged by 2 Grail Knights and Centaurs, their regeneration, I'm guessing it was their regeneration and slightly higher stats just really pulled them through here. I'm kind of impressed. I expected them to crumble like that, you know, when they got charged by Grell Knights, but they didn't. They held their own and survived the entire fight, so I'm really impressed by that. For Surreal, his front line of dwarves, I think, did pretty well. They just killed a bunch of Gores and Bretonians. Ironbreakers, 81 kills. 209 kills on the Flame Cannon. They really should have tried to destroy it. They could have just ran a Gorbel in there. They could have ran a Pegasus Knight group in there. They had some archers for a little bit before we shut them down. And I think they were trying to take out the Flame Cannon. But, like, they had a whole line of infantry and Centigores fighting this Dwarven line, and then they just left the Flame Cannon alone, and it racked up a ton of kills. For the enemy, the spears kind of got crushed. They were outclassed for the most part, and it looks like they were even paid for additional ranks too. Paladins, I think, did pretty good. The King managed to survive the entire fight, so that's pretty good. Grell Knights still managed to get 51 kills on this unit, even though they were crushed relatively early on. I guess that had to come from the initial cat fight for the most part. I didn't realize they got so many kills there. The Bretonian Peasants got a couple kills before we crushed them. The Pegasus Knights did not really do exceptionally well. Trebuchet getting 61 kills, I think, is kind of worth it. Although they did spend rankings on that as well. So I think this is 700, but with 4 ranks, probably brings up to around 850. That may still be okay. And then for the Beastman player, the Gore Herd, one did pretty well. The others did okay. Gorbels did pretty well, to be expected. The Ungor Raiders kind of got shut down pretty quick. The Centigores, 46 kills, I think, is probably paying for itself. 30 kills, I think, is still pretty okay. Oh, there's actually a one normal Centigore group that got 3 kills. I didn't notice them. 30 kills in the Razorcore Chariot. Listen, it's tough to micromanage chariots, but I think they could be potentially pretty awesome. It's just, it takes a lot of micromanagement. A lot of micromanagement. But again, thanks for watching this battle, everybody. Leave your suggestions below in the comment section, and I will see you all next time. Take care, everybody.